Never, 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 never let the left claim that they use science as the basis for any of their public health decisions. Never again allow them to say this, because one day before Biden's first State of the Union address, miraculously, the science informed the left that it was time to rescind mask mandates for members of Congress in the Capitol building. Isn't that the most tremendous, amazing coincidence that you've ever heard, that the day that Biden needs the optics of an unmasked State of the Union audience, the science dictates that it's time to unmask members of Congress. I mean, we knew that this virus was intelligent. We knew that this virus was intelligent enough to only infect Trump supporters when they got together at Trump rallies, but intelligent enough not to infect Black Lives Matter rioters when they were congregating in the streets together, all in these mass groups of people all together. We knew that the virus was intelligent, but man, we didn't know that it was to this extent, that the virus knew to make itself, disappear enough just so that all the members of Congress could be unmasked during Biden's first State of the Union address. I mean, literally, I know I'm talking tongue in cheek. I'm mocking the science. I'm mocking Biden. I'm mocking the congressional attending physician, who I'm sure is just a mouthpiece for the Biden administration at this point. But we actually should not just let this go. We shouldn't just laugh about this and then brush it under the rug, because look at what happened in Canada. I mean, Biden, by the way, what we're going to see from Biden during the State of the Union address tonight, we are going to see Biden declare an end to COVID-19. We're going to see him remove some of these mandates and declare victory. In fact, you want to know why I'm so confident making this prediction? Because Governor Hochul of New York has announced that on Wednesday, children in New York do not have to wear masks in public schools anymore. And you might be asking yourself, well, she made this announcement on Monday, and she said that children no longer have to wear masks on Wednesday, but why Tuesday? If she made this announcement on Monday, why do children have to go to school on Tuesday wearing masks only to remove those masks, or be allowed to remove the masks on Wednesday? How is that scientific? And the answer to that is it's not scientific, it's political, because Biden is going to announce, he is probably going to announce that very thing during his State of the Union address. The Democrats have weaponized the idea of quote unquote science because they've compromised these so-called experts. And really, it's all just one big political mishmash. You also might have noticed that Dr. Fauci has been mysteriously absent from the airwaves that he was such a fan of the last 2 years. He used to every weekend be on every show that would accept him. And suddenly, where has Dr. Fauci been? You might not have seen one of those viral clips of one of the idiotic things that he said recently, because he hasn't said them, because he hasn't been on the shows. Now, why is that? Why suddenly did Dr. Fauci go quiet after being, the leader, Saint Fauci, Pope Fauci, for the last 2 years? Well, perhaps because Dr. Fauci hasn't changed his mind, his goal of zero COVID, which means restrictions and mandates forever. But the Biden administration politically has decided, well, it's time to end COVID. And here's the question. Here's the question that I ask myself. I actually expected Biden to continue with COVID through the midterms. And so I thought, well, all signs are pointing to the fact that he's going to end COVID at the State of the Union. Why is that? I'll tell you why. It's because Justin Trudeau in Canada exposed the fact that COVID tyranny is in fact COVID tyranny. Now, you and I knew this. We've talked about this quite a bit the last 2 years. But there's simply no bones about this. This isn't camouflaged anymore from the general American public or even the world. This is now obvious to anyone with a pair of eyes that governments and government officials, and like I said, Trudeau was the one who really made this obvious, are willing to violate even your most fundamental rights in the name of COVID-19. And that is remarkably unpopular, and Biden knows that he needs to end this. Biden also is desperate for a win. And when I say desperate, I mean, this should be in all capital letters. He is desperate for a win because what else? If Biden doesn't end COVID in the State of the Union, what else can he say about his first year? What else could he possibly say?